curious to see the Epstein files. I'm quite curious to see Ghislaine Maxwell's accusation of the video overreach. Baby. Unless they're of Donald Trump and his golden showers. I don't want to see that. No water sports for me. Not with a Cheeto bandito. Most definitely not. But you see the MAGA. They're kicking off, they are. They're not happy. Not happy at all. No, they are not. As a result of Donald Trump effectively, I would say, incriminating himself. That's to be said. For not releasing the Epstein files. For one moment, it was on Pam Bondi's desk. She was reviewing the Epstein files. No, they never existed. Well, I blame Donald Trump, sir. Well, his mushroom, you know what I mean? Oh, blimey, what happened there? Well, you see. Why would he want that to be exposed? He knows full well it incriminates him. But why he does whatever he can to excuse himself from the Epstein files, Donald Trump keeps incriminating himself. He made that speech, didn't he? Well, sort of a speech. He told us that, what, you're still talking about the Epstein files? He says, yeah, not in that accent, mind, but he did say it. He did. Oh, we've got Texas, we've got this, we've got that, yes. And you're still talking about the Epstein files. You know, it's almost like he was seeding the storms and what have you, and the tensions of rain in a very short period of time in Texas, as a way to dead cat you about the Epstein files. And it didn't work, no. Because there's a degree of people who really want to see the Epstein files. People who don't believe that Donald Trump is even in it. And now they're questioning themselves. In fact, some MAGA are going full on anti-MAGA. Yeah, well, anti-Trump anyway, not necessarily MAGA, because they believe in, make America great again, as though it's a real thing. But, you know, just like Antifa is just a feeling, really. Now, I have to admit, I believe that Donald Trump is not just implicated in there, he was a full-on participant within the harem of Jeffrey Epstein. He was there, that he was, participating, yeah, that's what I believe, and I've got no reason to disbelieve it. After all, Donald Trump has precedents, that he does. He has, well, the character, the decorum, he is rapist, let's be honest. Besides, is anyone out there really surprised that a rapist wouldn't would actually want the Epstein files to be released? Well, he knows full well he's going to be in it. Which implicates not just as a potential rapist, but as a paedophile. And he likes little girls. That's Donald Trump. And that's the president of the United States. That is, yeah, president. We're going to say, a president. No, he is what, he can't help it. It's the way that he's made, you know. Even his mother said he should never become president. Yeah. Well, the thing about Donald Trump is there's no love in him. Oh, actually, no, tell a lie. There is. It's just for Donald Trump, clearly, you know. Has to be said that Donald Trump is a very interesting person for all the wrong reasons. He's not someone to aspire to. He's not someone to respect. Even though these people have been. They've had his tattoo his face tattooed on their chests. And then they're never agents. Crikey. Crikey, the only tattoo I got down there is a pair of W's. When I bend over, it goes, oh, wow. That it does. Well. Sorry. Anyway, who we got here? Sidetrack. There it is. Anyway, so, hello, Andrew Evans. Hello there, Free. Most definitely. Simru. How do you pronounce that? I always get it wrong. Hello, Cat's Eye Moose. I hope you're well. And Gingers. My God, you see inside your tray. It's gone mental. Damn it. Trump fancies nothing but himself. An occasional, well, how to put it, old. That's what he likes. Sleazy little man. I don't think it's capable these days, though, to be fair. Even Melania's relieved that she is, you know. Can you imagine it? They made Baron. Oh, my God. Oh, well, you know. She did it for the money. She deserves everything that she gets, even his mushroom. Well, you know. Doesn't that make her a prostitute? I think so. It's too late. He's president one last time. Oh, how the hell dropped that one last time, you reckon? They're lining up their pieces on the old chessboard at the moment. That's what they're doing. They're lining up their pieces on the chessboard. They are building up their Gestapo. Increasing the funding, as I've mentioned several times before, and I'll keep mentioning it, that, you know, the funding for ISIS is big as the military spend for Russia. Crazy. You have to be a special sort of arsehole, don't you? You know, to work as well. And unfortunately, the military, some of them, well, why the feck are they doing it? And then there's the police. They swore an oath to the Constitution and are going against the Constitution. Well, at least some people are speaking out that they are. So why is Trump so defensive about the Epstein files? Oh my God, let's take that light off there because it keeps turning my phone around. There we go. Anyway, let's bring it over here for a second. Oh, there. Oh, okay.
The MAGA media is in full revolt over the Trump, DOJ, and FBI's claim that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself, did not have a client list, and Donald Trump is not at all defensive if you ask him about it. Let's watch.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste time on it? Do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and tragedy with what happened in Texas.
Well,
it just seems
nice, but, you know.
like a desecration, but you go ahead.
I didn't take any of this too seriously. Donald Trump, just then, like, the defensiveness in his voice, it's the first thing that's made me think,
The MAGA media is in full revolt.
Incrimination.
Trump, DOJ,
That is what it is. It is incrimination.
Did not have a client list. And Donald.
I don't think there is any other explanation, quite frankly. How can you believe anything else? And the MAGA are even starting to question their loyalty to Donald Trump. I've seen some clips of MAGAs shoving all their Trump memorabilia straight in the old bin. You know? Quite frankly, I'd like to see him burn it. Have a natch. Well, I don't know, make it be in the Piata or something. Bash the fucking hell out of it. Like we should be doing with Donald Trump. He deserves a good bashing that he does. Excuse me for wobbling the camera about. Well, does he have new hair? What, Trump or me? I clipped my head this morning. I did, yeah. I clipped it. I was a bit late today, but I just I actually fell asleep. I fell asleep. It's been so blooming hot. And we went all the way up to the SPA, to dog refuge, to see some dogs. I'll talk about dogs. Maybe. This might... Just for something a little bit funny. Anyway, we went to the SPA to have to look at some dogs and what have you, and to see if there's anything there. There wasn't anything there, actually, but not what we're looking for. But can you see... What, you see the dog? Well, this was unexpected, apparently. But, this only happens... in Australia, apparently, that it does. Oh, God, come back. Look at... I know they get all sorts of guests over there. They do. It is Australia after all. It goes. Oh, dear, we'll have to play it again later. The thing is, you see, with all this going on, maybe what's going on in, say, for instance, Texas, and Donald Trump seeding the storms to get their 10 inches of rain, it's all part of the plan to provide that dead cat that he needs to take your eyes off the ball. So, obviously that's just conspiracy theory that I just made up, but obviously that's not true. But that's the kind of shit that they believe, ain't it? I believe so, and it is. I've just got too much light in the back there. Well... Karen Bass has been speaking out. She has. She's been sending all sorts of requests and what have you, because this is getting ridiculous. But then you got the feds and what have you coming down to Los Angeles and completely denouncing what she's saying and say, well, we're not going anywhere. Now I have got. Just on the zone. I don't know what that's about. Oh, blimey. Technology, eh? Well, how do you do that? So, anyway, Clark Kent. Hello, Clark Kent. Yeah. Oh, crikey, are you Donald Trump? Since he's got his new, his new meme thing out there. Where he's like Superman. Trump is Clark Kent. I didn't know. I didn't know. I have to put that fan on. It gets blooming hot, are you? Yeah, not defensive at all. It's just obvious, isn't it? He's just incriminating himself. Hello, Storm. Hello, my friend. Stop the great idea, my friend. And Tanuki. Oh, look at this. My favourite Englishman from France. Hello from Switzerland. Hello in Switzerland. The last time I went to Switzerland was during the pandemic. On the motorbike. Yeah. Pay up whatever it was for 100 odd quid, whatever it was for the little vignette thing. But that was good because the passes between Switzerland and Italy on their motorbike are fantastic. They really are. Top grade, JBT online, disco. Get the tunes on, it'd be quite a nice place of music, wouldn't it? But you can't. Like, they're monetised, you see, it's copyright and all that shit, isn't it? It's just a shame, really, isn't it, How's London? I wouldn't have a clue. I haven't been to London for years, but I'm in Stansted, that's about the nearest I got. But I've been there for a long time. Not because I wouldn't want to, but I just I've got no interest there, to be honest. I don't have family there, Norfolk? Yes. Possibly. But why would I? I live in France. Things just seem so much more normal here. They really do. We still have our crazies, but definitely it's more normal than what's going on Well, in the United Kingdom, but most definitely the United States. What a mess. An absolute mess. People have voted for it. That's the bit I just can't comprehend. But we all know that the only reason why these people came to the surface, you know, a little bit crude oil, you know, come to the surface, it's because they were given a platform. They were given the ability to speak under so-called free speech, which wasn't really free speech. It was just, well, just given a platform to be just Nazis, you know, MAGA Nazis. And now we're seeing the old Gestapo going in from, you know, to state by state. Well, blue states, sorry, I readdressed that. Yes, going into the blue states and arresting all new citizens doing the job that, quite frankly, nobody else wants to do. Can you imagine the MAGA do it? No. They ain't going to pick that stuff. The farms are literally going to fail. If they lose this year's crop, they won't have no money for next year. And then what happens? They won't be able to buy their inputs. And then you got the fact that, you know, there's going to be reciprocal tariffs for Canada on the United States, you know, potash, for instance, which is pretty much where most of the potash comes from Canada. Well, how are the farms going to cope with that? But Donald Trump doesn't actually know any of this stuff. He never seems to know anything about anything. He makes excuses. Does he know? And he's just saying, oh, I don't know about that. Oh, you tell me, he says, more often than not. You tell me. Asking the press gabble to tell him what's going on, that's his job. It's Trump's job. Like understanding what language, knowing what language the country that you, leaders from the country that you invite to your White House, or should I say the people's White House, invite to the White House, know what language they speak, instead of actually making yourself look so foolish. This man is the President of the United States, the so-called leader of the free world. How can this be? Really? I don't know. I really don't know. People voted for him again after he killed half of you last time with the pandemic, and now he's killing farm workers, literally. Yes, some farm worker who was abused in a recent raid ended up dying in hospital. I don't know what you know, if it's Mexican or, you know, I don't know. The Shite House says, stop the greed. Hey, some cheers, buddy. I got a super chat. Nice one, thank you. I heard XF has done another signal leak, has he? Oh my god, no. Or another drone fiasco. I haven't heard about that. If there's another signal, oh my giddy aunt. There wasn't actually him, was it? That was Walsh, whatever his name was. Inviting, was it Jeffrey from the Atlantic? Was it Atlantic? Yeah. It's Jeffrey stuff and whatever, the editor from the Atlantic, which is anti-Trump. I still can't get it. And you still got a job. Oh, thank you, Alistair. Cheers, buddy. Oh, dear. Anyone want a boy some potash? Sounds like drunk, doesn't it? Oh, dear me. It's just one of the ingredients used in fertilisers and stuff, you see. Now, we in the UK, well, I'm in France here, but they had some trouble, you see, because of nitrogen. You know, but one of the ingredients, you know, for the growth regarding food crops, and because of Brexit. And there's only 2 plants in the UK, and one of them got shut down during the Brexit, and we're heavily reliant on the Netherlands for importation of nitrogen. I think that's right. Yeah, which. And then the byproduct product that was, I think, the CO2 gas as well, was used for the hospitals, and it's a mess. And because of Brexit, we crippled ourselves. There was a shortage. Now, I don't think. I think he's going to try. It's what he did. January 6th, what have you, the insurrection, Capitol Hill, and that he did that without the support that he's got now from. Although saying that, some of them are resigning. Somebody's just threatening to resign from the Trump regime. Oh, the CO2 supply also. Wasn't the CO2 a byproduct of the CO2 gas was a byproduct of the nitrogen production for the fertilisers? If I remember rightly. But that's like in the Netherlands. Yeah, the CO2 gas was used in the packing of meat products, as well as used for the hospitals. Obviously, the CO2 gas for the hospitals, the oxygen. So yeah, that was that's just an own goal, isn't it? It's just another own goal, and that's what Trump keeps doing. Own goals. You can't help himself, can he? He's literally destroying the country. He's effectively killing people through his policies and heavy-handedness. At some point, people are going to have to stand up. Like for instance, I say about dox these people and what have you, and do clandestine protests. Make sure they can't operate, they can't function. But even that, you're going to have to be really careful. There's a 5-year sentence they got on that now. If you do anything against ICE, you can get 5 years. Probably in Allegate and Auschwitz. But you see, these aren't prisons. None of these places are prisons. Seacott isn't a prison. Because there's no jurisdiction. They just end up in there. Normally it's a legal process, isn't it? David Cross, is that you? Oh, yes, it is, yes. I've heard that one before as well. I'll be called a Marxist next because I've got my green shirt on. What language is this guy speaking? I'm speaking gobbledygook, okay? Just to make you happy. Just so you know. Yeah. Norfolk, my accent, if you want to know where I'm from Norfolk in the UK. East of the United Kingdom, where we grow carrots, and we have extra toes, and got webbed feet. And I've got a beer today. This is not a lightweight beer, it's an 8.6, not percent, because it's 11.5%, 10.5% it is, this one. So it's a slow going beer, but it's very nice. If you come to France, you'll soon realise, oh my giddy aunt, the beers are strong, aren't they? You get used to it, but you don't drink like 10 pints, you drink one. He's British. I'm British, mate. Yeah, British. Or are you just trying to be sarcastic because you can't understand what I'm saying? Well, I can't help that, can I? It takes all sorts, and it does. In this case, me. So, my God, if you can't understand what I'm saying, you've got to try Scottish. No offence to the Scottish people that I love in the chat. Love you! Viva Scotland! Of course. Anyway, where are we? A lot of potatoes. Yes, and we do grow a lot of potatoes for Walkers in Norfolk. Walkers crisps. In fact, I was North Norfolk. I built all the. I just did all the block work myself for all the internal. There's all these massive places where they store the potatoes, okay? But then they did a lot of experimentation. They tested potatoes and fried them and did all sorts of things, flavours and stuff, yeah? And it's like a laboratory, and I built the laboratory for Walkers. Single-handed I did, yeah. So Agree said, I'm a cider drinker. Oh, I didn't know in Norfolk, proper Norfolk cider, they would stick either a piece of meat in it or a dead rat. I don't know why, but they did. Gross. Can you do a brick house line? I do a brick house. I do. Oh crikey! Obviously, just Flemish blonde, English blonde, stretcher blonde, and pretty much anything really. But my main thing is I'm a woodworker, mate. I make stuff out of wood. That's what I do. I'm a second generation immigrant. Says Texan. Well, I'm an immigrant. I'm living here in France, so there you go. My mother was she was about quarter Indian. Yeah, she was quarter Indian. which came over in the 60s. Her mother was the product of she was a love child. A colonialist love child, I reckon, or something. Anyway. I'm from Poland. Well, there you go, look. I haven't been to Poland. My son's visited Poland on a holiday. He couldn't believe how cheap it was there. You know, like restaurants and drinks. It was 3 years ago now, but it was, yeah. They do what, a brick top? Oh, you're talking about Snatch? Anyway, let's get back to what I was doing. I sidetrack, I do. I tend to sidetrack. I do apologise. No, I do. Well, now if you want to know a little bit about me, I'm somebody who doesn't want to do harm to others. And I don't see why we should. I don't see the point in it because it always comes back to bite you in the fucking ass. I don't see the point in lying. I think it's an absolute crock of shit. I absolutely detest people who feel that they need to lie. And some people will lie just for the sake of lying. As a matter of course. They'll do it just to big themselves up, to glamorise a story or to make it more exciting. There's no point. You've always got to remember the lies. Otherwise you trip yourself up, just like Pam Bondi did when she said there is no Epstein files, and yet just a month or so ago she said it's on my desk. And then they send all those redacted Epstein files to all those so-called influencers, which was a crock of shit. And they were proud, they had their little selfies with their folder, with the Epstein files, and there was nothing inside. A bit like the deal with the United Kingdom and the United States, you know, when Donald Trump dropped on the floor and Keir Starmer was there scurrying around the bottom trying to pick up the piece up before anyone noticed there was nothing written on the pages. Apart from a big signature. These people are the worst. They certainly are the worst. No. Let's put that one over there. Now, I do watch the Midas Touch, networks, what have you. I have to admit, I skipped past the middle chunk, where they put all the dodgy adverts of arse washers and some kind of special kind of, I don't know, supplement that puts hairs on your nipples, if you know what I mean, or whatever it might be. Drive me absolutely mad. In fact, this lad here, I think it's, oh crikey, no, that's a girl. Oh, that's not it. This one.
Wow, that's just an FBI Director Dan Bongino
Well, that's,
now
I
considering
think that's
following the fallout from the Trump
Ben's brother
administration's cover
from
of
Midas
the
Touch.
Epstein files. Bongino has reportedly told us now to multiple people things in the White House are in complete disarray. This was originally reported by MAGA influencer Laura Loomer, and it has now been confirmed by CNN. Bongino did not even show up for work today amid fighting between the FBI leadership in the midst of this whole cover-up.
Well, that'd be
All
Kash.
signs point to this being orchestrated
Kash
by
Patel.
none other than Donald Trump. Of course, we know that Trump had a very close, more than a decade-long relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Bongino reportedly had a huge fight with Attorney General Pam Bondi over the release of the Epstein files, and there was an explosive meeting on Wednesday with Bongino, Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. Many MAGA influencers are now calling for Bondi to step down. Trump the other day had berated a reporter for asking about the Epstein files, a moment that made even the most loyal of MAGA supporters furious. We're going to keep following the story, so spread the word, follow along, and add the Midas Touch podcast right now on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify.
Yes, and buy some, I don't know, arse washers or something. I might do a video about Midas Touch networks. It might be quite fun. About their adverts. Because he does like the adverts, and they are terrible. I mean, he's reading off a script, obviously, what's been given to him, and they are so cheesy, it's just unreal how bad. I'll have to do a video on that. I'm going to have to. I like Midas Touch networks, don't get me wrong, but they earn a lot of money. They get they get like 8 million odd views a day. Can you imagine the amount of revenue they're getting on that when they're getting around $4 to $5 for every 1,000 views? They don't need these ads. They really don't. But anyway, that's up to them, I suppose. But we all have to suffer it, don't we? You know. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, okay, so that would be Kash Patel. Obviously, you know, because he's the chief of the FBI. And Dan Bongino, he's He was one of these influencer geezers and ended up being like the deputy for the FBI director. But he was adamant for a very long time that, Jeffrey Epstein was murdered and stuff like that, and we want to see what's inside these Epstein files. He never incriminated Trump in them. Dan Bongino at the time, Bongino, and then he was asked a question before about the Epstein files, and then he says, no, I'm fairly confident now that Jeffrey Epstein, he killed himself. Why the hell was the cameras off for that period of time? That's more than a coincidence. If you got a thought, they were just off for that period when he potentially, killed himself. I know it sounds like a conspiracy theory, and it possibly is just a conspiracy theory. Maybe he did kill himself. We don't know. But the questions are there to be asked, to be fair. And when you said that he died when Donald Trump was the president, he had a lot of power. There will be somebody out there who knows if they are still alive. If you know what I mean. So anyway, there we go. Let's have a look at the old chat. Oh crikey, what's going on in the chat? Has anyone else been telling me that they can't understand me? Yeah, I have to admit, I saw Pete except for the crikey's promotion for those American drones. Well, I don't know if you heard, there's a new promotion about to be announced. TikTok. You see, there's been a bit of criticism recently because TikTok has been, a bit sideswiped. Because there was a deadline, wasn't there? There was a deadline when TikTok was going to be shut down, it was. If didn't get forth and sold. Anyway, apparently there's a buyer now for TikTok. But, and there's a big but, I think I might have to show you this big but. Not big, not what the, no, not and what the bottom, no, different big area. This is the but. He hasn't got a big but, it's quite a slim guy. Got that. This is on Hawk's Podcasts. Somebody else that I follow. Makes lots of short type videos. He does a lot, used to do a lot on TikTok, you see. He did used to speak about TikTok a little bit too much, but because he wasn't very happy because he's going to lose his platform. So anyway, there we go.
Everybody, TikTok officially is going to sell. It has been reported now by The Information that an investor group, which seems to be led by Oracle, is going to buy the app. And so much so, in fact, this is so confirmed that The Information was even able to get a hold of plans for TikTok to release a secondary app here in the United States called M, like the letter M as in McDonald's, and it will be TikTok only for US users. The app will go live sometime in September, they report, and then users in the United States will have until March of 2026 to download the app. And after that point, I think that the native version of TikTok you and I are using will go dark here in the US, and everybody who wants to keep posting videos and engaging with content that is TikTok-like will have to go over to M. So, yeah, if you wanted to keep posting on an app that was not wholly owned by American companies that will absolutely use your data to spy on you and create little profiles of you in order to, determine your friendliness level to things like corporations, government, or people in power, TikTok probably won't be the app for you after March of next year. So sick. Everybody, TikTok officially is going to sell. It has been reported now by The Information that an investor group.
Oh dear.
Do something cute.
I've got a cat. Stop it! It won't stop. Oh, I've got Slash now. Not that sort of Slash, guitar Slash. So, what have I missed? FBI director is not happy about the Epstein files. Yeah, maybe he's in them. Epstein files being empty. He is going to resign, and he was very vocal about it, about them to get made public. If you're talking about, well, actually, didn't even Cash Patel, she talked about that as well. And as soon as these people get their jobs in the White House, or in this case the FBI, They quickly turned on, which just makes them a bunch of lying hypocrites, scumbags, the kind of people that they'd be, slapped across the face with a wet kipper. Now this is what I believe in, right? And I said it earlier today, okay? So I keep drumming this into my daughter, right? And so she got me these. She knows full well that I do like Star Wars, so I know it's from Disney these days. But speak no evil, say no evil, and hear no evil. And there has to be a lot said for that. It really does. Honesty is always the best policy. You make mistakes and stuff, obviously. I certainly do. But just do your best. Just speak the truth and shame the devil. So, anyway, FBI director not happy about the Epstein files. Yeah, I know. Thanks, buddy. It's just... They are literally eating themselves alive. They really are. Why is the background so light? It's so light. What's going on? It's a bit dark. I don't know. Anyway. Been too worried about my background? Thank you, my friends. Much appreciated. It really is. Oh, stop the Greek. I bet Putin has the Epstein files. No, he's got the videos of the golden showers. You know what I mean? While Putin is rolling around on a beer. Now, it was common knowledge that Jeffrey Epstein was... he liked to incriminate people. He liked to bribe people. So what he'd do is to win them over. This is what Jeffrey Epstein would do. He'd win them over, and that's Donald Trump would do this as well. Actually, win them over, get them hooked up with some young lass and that, and then, got your videos, evidence. You see. I tell you, missus, what you been up to? Detroit Micro Sound says it's believed that Ukraine may have already taken out 75% of Rus-Fed's entire nuclear payload-capable aircraft. Apart from strategic arms capable, but several of those as well. That'd be the Spiderweb operation, where they took out around 40-odd billion worth of bombing aircraft. They're losing morale at the moment, unfortunately, in Ukraine. Since they've been they're not getting the defence equipment they need for Kiev, and it's their capital city. It's like it's been bombed to hell. It is, and it's Trump. It's Trump, Hegseth. Obviously, they're trying to blame their minions and all that. It's always a blame game with them, but we know for well it's them. Isn't that funny? After Donald Trump phoned Vladimir Putin, he actually then decides to bomb Ukraine. Putin bombs Ukraine. 24 hours later, we had this with bombing of Pakistan and Gaza. Whenever Trump's involved, all of a sudden there's loads more bombs being dropped. And the only real reason, I'll tell you this now, Trump is thinking about how to sell more arms. And that's the only reason why he keeps going on about the 5% for NATO. It's not for should we protect ourselves. He wants to sell more. He wants to sell more military equipment. And that's the bottom line. That's how his mind works. But we're buying it from elsewhere, and we're developing it ourselves. And besides, you can't really trust these F-35s at the moment. There was one that, I can't remember where it was now anyway, there was one that landed, and it was like heavy landing, and it was spinning around on its nose cone, and then the pilot ejected out. Literally off the ground, ejected out. Only, he could have very broken legs, to say the least. And then there was another instance where another one landed. I can't remember what it was. I just saw a quick clip of it. I wasn't really paying much attention to it. I just thought I'd just mention it. Where he managed to land the plane, and all of a sudden all he wanted to get is get out of it. And then they taxied that craft with a fire engine back near the hangar. Oh, what have I missed? Epstein was a Mossad agent. Yes. Well, yes. that's what they're saying, isn't it? You know, just like Donald Trump is a Russian agent. Agent Orange. Krasnov. Oh, dear me. Now, when I saw that by a so-called ex, well, there's no ex-KGB, but anyway, this guy who was in the KGB, and he's the one who said it. On his Facebook, he got arrested, mind, but, you know, he said it on his Facebook page, explaining exactly what they did. He was groomed. Trump was groomed. You see, the thing about Trump is he's an easy person to actually get on side if you want to. You just got to fluff him. That's what you got to do. You got to fluff the Trump. And that's what Mark Rutte was doing. I understand why he was doing that, but I still hate it. I understand why, oh crikey, Keir Starmer was sucking up to Trump, but I still hate it. I don't think it's actually the right, because you can't trust him, you see. I don't think it was the right thing to do. And the same with any other of these world leaders, apart from obviously Macron, he certainly ain't. Sucking up to Trump. And to be fair, Merz either, you know, for the Chancellor in Germany, he isn't. See, these people, they know what Trump is about. You see, Trump is actually, he's pretty obvious. Let's be honest. He's pretty obvious. And he's not trustworthy. Plain and simple. You can't have a trade deal with somebody who just throw up in the air on a whim just because of whatever. Epstein was a Mossad agent. Yeah. Thanks, Stop Greed. Much appreciated, my friend. Oh my God, you were really generous last night as well. You don't have to do that, my friend. Paul, what is wrong with you? Says, okay, Paul. Ukraine getting their arse whooped. Well, quite frankly, that's not the terminology you should be using. It really is not. Because let's be honest about it. Russia is a very powerful nation regarding their military, and yet they said that's going to be 3 days. And how, was it 2 years now? 3 years now? Is it 3 years or 2 years? Can't remember. 3 years now, isn't it? You're going to try and tell me that Russia's been winning. It's been costing Russia dearly. They just cannot back down now. They're having to enlist North Koreans. There are layoffs and that as well. And then you got Belarus, and you got China, who said the other day that we can't see, or they can't stomach to see Russia lose the war in Ukraine. It's all because of BRICS, you see. They're all like that, kind of. I mean, like that. Painful. Hey, Holmes has got himself a spiderweb operation. I should remake t-shirts again, shouldn't I? Operation t-shirt. That's pretty cool. I was so impressed with that. They've been planning on that for a long time. That was a long-term plan. They even set up companies in Russia to be able to import these drones that were in this lorry, come flying out of the roof of this container or something, you know? That's clever shit. They are some. They're also, so that's what they're doing, right? They're drones, they're like they're, what they call again, oh God. Anyway, they're bigger drones. They've infected them with malware. If they get taken by Russia, and then Russia decides to connect it to their systems, this malware, it's a bit like a Trojan horse, I suppose, and it just goes and infects everything. That's how their minds are working in Ukraine. This is what happens when you corner them. If you corner somebody, a bit like being a rat being cornered, but obviously not rats, being cornered, they'll bite something, they'll fight, but they're going to fight, aren't they? Because their lives depend on it. And that's what's happening in Ukraine. These people, as the defenders of their country, are having to think outside the box. And they're proven to be the most innovative people. They really are. I'm in awe. I just think, crikey. You've got the land drones, these military vehicles, with a gun on the top, like a howitzer, on the top of this, remote control and stuff. And then you got these drone boats that have been sinking ships. You got drone submarines that have been trying to explode the bridges in Croatia. And then you got obviously the drones in the air. They're a formidable bunch. They really are. I just got so much respect for them. So much respect. And somebody who flies drones myself. I don't do FPV. Well, I suppose it is FPV, but not with the goggles and stuff, because there are laws here in France. You mustn't fly them out of your sight. Although I have done, but I don't do that anymore, to be fair. But it's just I find it fascinating and very informative to learn this stuff. When you read through these articles, you see how they do it. Oh, it's just amazing. Just amazing. So I'm probably got a bit over the top of that, but I have to admit, I just got so much. Yeah, Slava Ukraine, yes. I just very impressive people. Stop! Didn't take much to look. What? Stop! Didn't take much to look. I don't understand. Sorry. Ukrainians, Detroit, 100% Ukrainians. It turns out the Russian bear was Ukrainian. Ooh, is that true? Oh, I see your point now. Yeah, they're fighting back. I get you now. Yeah. Don't poke the bear. So, yes, Russia has just unleashed an all-out assault. Well, they have over the last few days. They've been very aggressive with these drones, and they haven't been just attacking in one direction. They've been attacking in all directions on Ukraine, 500, 600 on drones at a time, and Ukraine ain't got the defences to defend themselves from it because of been deserted effectively by the United States. They're not asking for something for free. I say they'll pay for it. Okay, some of the money they got is from Europe and stuff, and places like that. And I want soldiers to stop dying. You and me both. I think we all want people to stop dying. But stop dying under what? If your country was invaded, would you fight to the end, or would you allow them to invade you and force you to live under their tyranny? Because that's what Russia is proposing for Ukraine. When you're pro-Ukraine, since Russia can stop whenever they please, good point, and Ukraine is defending their country. Exactly. And this is just turn this around a little bit at the moment. You got the Trump regime is a regime. It's not a government. It's a regime who's building up their militia, their force, the so-called ICE. It's not about immigration anymore. It's about control. So they're building that up. Huge amount of funding. As much funding as for Russian military. Think of Trump being as maybe Putin. Do you want to live under the Trump tyranny? Because that's what he's got proposed for you. He wants to control you. If you speak out against the regime, he will disappear you. That's where we're heading. He pretty much gave the game away, didn't he? When he was being asked that question about Kim Jong-il on the aircraft and Air Force One, about Kim Jong-un and about how did Donald Trump. All the people stand up and listen when he speaks. I want that for my people. That means no freedom of speech, no First Amendment for anybody. Ron DeSantis, he's on a mission to gather enough votes, enough people, enough support to start the process of changing the Constitution, for which obviously they'll change that Constitution to suit their own agenda. take care, gingers. I'll be back in 3 hours. I don't know if I'll keep awake that long. Although I have just got up. I did hello, Lee Corn. Hope you're well, my friend. Oh, dear. Struggling to keep awake, gingers. It's 1:45 in the morning for you in the UK. For me, it's 1:45 in the morning. And in the United States, my clocks are wrong, so I don't know. It's going to be around, I don't know. Did they go back or forward? I can't remember now. Is it 7 or is it 8? No, is it not 7? Is it 7? Is it 6 or is it 8 at the moment in the United States? In New York, for instance. I've got 7 time zones, I know. What are we talking about? A bit about Epstein and the files and, well, this tyranny that is developing on, well, the people of the United States. And it is a tyranny. Ginger says, "Now go to bed, Leacorn. Go to bed." Got 2 people in the chat who actually visited me here in France. I got Leacorn, because he's got relatives here, and he popped in and brought me beer. I've went out, mate. I need some more beer. I got this beer. And Gingers came all the way from Virginia. I keep forgetting you say you're in Virginia. I think it's Virginia. Anyway. And Gingers has been to see us as well, and she's been to Scotland and visited people in Scotland. Lovely, lovely people that they are. You know, the kind of people that care about people. That's the kind of people I like, you know. I don't like people who don't care about people for whatever race or creed that you may be. Call me woke, I don't give a shit, alright? Maybe I'm woke, I don't know. That's a stupid term. You know, it's been bastardised. We should all be woke. We should all care about other people. That's just stupid. God, anyway. So you would want peace. So Paul says he wants peace and he said to fight to the end. Because, you know, that's hypocrisy for you, isn't it? Hello Canada, my home. I hope you're well, my friend. I did also call them a piece of poop. Piece of poop. Yeah, night Nikon. Take care, my friend. Thanks for popping in. Much appreciated, my friend. You take care. And love to the family. You know. Oh crikey, they're growing all the time, aren't they, your kids and that? And your lovely French missus. Oh, it's 3:47 in Alaska, 7:47 in Eastern time in the USA. Crikey, the time zones are so broad across the United States, isn't it? You know, so I suppose it makes sense actually where you are. That spreads across the what do they call it? Latitude. Yes, genuine people. That's what we need. You see. Why can't we want more? I was criticised them, or somebody criticised me. They made a video about me and criticised. They don't even know me. They got a clue about me, and they criticised me for not being genuine. Anyone who knows me will know I do not lie. All right. Speak the truth, shame the devil. Ask the missus. She knows, and sometimes I get a slap. You know what I mean? Oh, does this dress make my ass look big? Yes. Well, I'll tell you, it's time, my love. You need to trim your unibrow. Poor woman. Like, she gives me just as much, you know. So it's just it's a family thing, if you know what I mean. It's about kindness, though. You see, that's what it's about, kindness. I don't want to go out in public like it. Yeah, for her own good. People that point, they go, uni. Anyway, she hasn't really got a unibrow, but there you go. So. We must look after people. We must look after people who, you know, not necessarily our same race or creed. You know, it shouldn't make any difference. We all bleed red after all, and we all have the same goals in life in many ways. We all want, you know, maybe we all want to have. We don't have children. We don't necessarily want harm to other people's children. You know, I've got 6 kids. I've got 11 grandchildren. You know, I don't want to see any harm to them. Of course I don't. I don't want to see any harm to my neighbours here. I don't want to see any harm to even... I don't really want to see any harm to MAGA unless they're nasty pieces of fucking work. There are some MAGA fools who, quite frankly, a bit silly, a bit simpleton, but you know. But there are those who are just evil. And you've got those who get the job. They get the job well, they go for the job for starters, don't they? They go for a job that, quite frankly, that makes them happy. To do pain, conflict, harm on people. In fact, somebody just died, which I thought, absolutely terrible. Right in there. Hang on, what have I just done there? No. Why have I got slash and a cat? Got a cat and a slash.
What do you...
Let's get rid of that over here, because I don't know what that was supposed to be. So, your actions do have consequences, you see. It will backfire on you. It will. It will backfire on you. Now, there was this by the Mayor Bass. So I just want to show you this. Right? It leads on to a couple of other little video clips, and it's she's doing what she can do. All right, she's doing what she can do. It's very limited what she can do, but at least she's trying. You know. What way? That way or that way? I go the wrong way. Anyway, there you go.
Executive directive. I just finished signing an executive directive which essentially puts all city departments and city leadership on notice to protect Angelinos essentially from the federal government. Just think about that for a minute. We want to make sure that our city departments are prepared in case ICE shows up at their door. How are they to respond? We want to make sure, of course, that they abide by the law, but we want them to know their rights, which means that ICE can't come barreling into the library just randomly looking for people. They have to have a specific warrant, and if they don't, then they can't come in. We also are filing a Freedom of Information Act because we want to know who are these masked men and why are they masked in the first place? Why can't they show identification? Why are they driving in unmarked cars with tinted windows and no license plate? Why do they jump out of the cars armed? And why are they snatching people off the street? All of this needs to stop. But I just want to end with this. How ironic is it that I signed an executive directive to protect Angelinos from our federal government? I just finished signing it.
Now that leads me on to this one. Oh, not that one, this one. There we go. And, let's go. This is on Hawk's podcast again. Oh, okay, let's go.
On TV, it seems almost every day, saying that the federal government has to leave LA and these operations have to stop. What's your message to her?
The federal government is not leaving LA. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now because this is going to be normal very soon.
Karen Bass is on.
Oh, stop it! God, this is sensitive. Oh my goodness, that's all going wrong on me. Go over there, you. That's it. So, expect it to be normalised. You can't allow it to be normalised. The people need to stand up against this. Because as soon as you normalise it, you won't be doing anything about it. You won't. It's a crying shame, but you see, there's already been, like I said, mentioned earlier, there's already been a death. And if I bring this over here now and just show you, it's all part of the same little, the same point. This is the owner of this particular farm, right? Okay, I think it's called the glass houses or something, like greenhouses. So.
Right. We employ a lot of people here They're hard workers. They showed up, they handcuffed their security guards, they held people at gunpoint, they threw people on the ground and injured them, not even checking if they had documentation or anything, and said, you want to do this the hard way? You want to do this the hard way, and put their knees in their backs. They injured them. We have people at the ER right now. They took everybody from our Casitas farm and put them on a bus.
How many is that approximately?
At least 100 plus people.
Really?
Yes.
What about other employees who are not farm workers?
They have them detained as well. We have vendors on site right now that can't leave, who are just doing deliveries and have nothing to do with our farm and our employees.
Yeah.
This is a targeted attack on Glass House. This is uncalled for and unconstitutional. And it's just, they are searching for people through every farm. They haven't shown the search warrant. They haven't shown if it's judicial or administrative.
Did somebody at Glass House ask for a search warrant when they arrived?
They did. Told them they just pushed through with their guns.
Right.
We employ a lot of people here.
Just pushed through with their guns. Well, this is a picture of them pushing through with their guns. How scary is that? You know? They were tear gassing them. Tear gassing them. What law did they break? What law did they break? Tell me. It does not make you illegal coming across the border. You come over legally does not make you an illegal, because there's no you haven't been charged. Whack-a-mole time. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Well, did we get some trolls? I think we did. I think we got some trolls. That we did. Oh dear. They do turn up, don't they? You know, takes all sorts, doesn't it? You know, licorice all sorts. Let me come with the chat. Stain won't come out. What stain? Donald Trump stain? That's what happens. We keep spraying stuff orange. Eventually, you'll stay that way. Von Krell, I hope you well. Von Krell. How do you pronounce that? What's the phonetics for that? I thought you were going to bed 10 minutes ago, Lee Corn, says Lee Corn. Oh dear. What you have to do, you put some headphones on and tell your dear wife that, well, I'm struggling to sleep these days. This is womb music. Just listen to some womb music. And in fact, it's me. I go, whoosh, whoosh. Did that help? No? Okay. I'll shut up now. Now, remember there's a huge bot farms, so most of these people are cell phones. For God's sake. Bad joke, Tom, bad joke. I forget the name of the album, but it's the one with the poles apart. Do 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 do. Oh, I can't remember either. Division bell. Yeah, cheers, buddy. I hope the Hague. That's a really good point, actually, because these are crimes, aren't they? These are crimes against human rights. They are. All these people who are breaking their constitution, I really hope that whoever is the next president, if Donald Trump allows a vote, whoever becomes the next president, the next government, I just hope that they will have some sort of task force involved to get all these feckin' people. All these people with their masks on, breaking the constitution and breaking the actually just breaking the law, supposed to identify themselves. No warrants, and disappearing these people. And let them be dissipated. Maybe just feed them. I'd have a conveyor belt straight to the alligators, if you know what I mean. Can I be in control of the joystick? Or can it be like a drop doors? You know, oh, that'd be so cool. What a job to have, you know. It's one way of getting rid of ice. And what kind of arsehole have you got to be to work for these people? What kind of arsehole have you got to be to do that job? What kind of arsehole? Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that you say, oh, they're just doing their job. Yeah. I just... There's no one threatening their families. There's no one going to kill all their families if they don't do as they're told, like they did in Nazi Germany. There's none of that. If people stand up in mass, I know you had the No Kings protest, but they were soft. And, you know, I think there's just something to back up anything, other stuff. If people stood up, you know, it could be a different kettle of fish. Fight fair with fair. But it has to be clandestine. You must be able to fight another day. They are contractors, yes. What was it, the Free Umbrellas or something they call themselves, or something like that. There's basically a paid militia. Militia? Yeah, militia. Is it free? Oh, crazy. Yeah, you are right, there's a load of contractors. But what kind of people have you got to be to do that job? I'm following orders, I am just doing my job. Is no bloody excuse. It isn't. People are dying. People are ending up disappeared. They're in Seacott and never to come out again, apart from McGregor and Garcia. The letter from the lawmakers to Canada, i.e. the wildfire smoke, made me realise that in America you can do anything you want, even if you aren't qualified. Like being a lawmaker without a brain. There's a lot of lawmakers in the United States working on behalf, pro bono, on behalf of a lot of these immigrants. The problem is that, you see, some of them, they're frightened, so they end up giving too much information. So once you give too much information, you need to button up, basically. You're basically giving them the information to support them. You need to uphold your rights to remain silent. If you know that there's a distinct possibility that you're going to be removed, they can't do it unless, well, technically they can't do it unless they actually know what your immigration status is. Yeah, BlackRock, you've got all these multi-billionaire companies, Palantir, just trying to control everybody. Yeah, any day, oh crikey, didn't he just say that, the guy who owns Palantir, he was asked a question, wasn't it? Oh, the human race. Do you want the human race to endure? In other words, live on. And he had to think about it. Peter Taylor. Another fucking fascist. That man he's a lunatic. He just wants to control people through data. And all our data has been gathered. We all know this already. The only way we can step back from this is to control our own data the best we can and make our data worthless. When people use aliases and stuff like that, use dynamic IPs and maybe VPNs, but VPNs aren't even really an answer now because they can be tracked. There's lots you can do. One of the worst things you can do is stupid things like store cards. They're the worst. Store cards, obviously, allowing the likes of Google and other networks, obviously Facebook, have access to your data. You need to be very, very careful with Facebook and go into the settings on the PC. I don't think you can do it on your phone, but if you do it on the PC or Mac, and go into your settings and change the settings, because by default they collect your data from your contact lists, your emails, absolutely everything. It's not just your emails. It'll be anyone who's come to you, has sent you anything as well. Phone numbers, emails, you name it. And we all know, even though Facebook will say they don't, that all that fucking advertising they throw in your faces when you go in your Facebook feed and stuff, that they're listening to it. The amount of times, nearly every time, that me and the missus are talking up the table, and then all of a sudden it comes up in Caroline's Facebook feed. She still does Facebook because of the kids. But I don't do Facebook at all. Anyway, it all comes up in Facebook. I say I don't do Facebook. I do Messenger with the kids now, but I don't do anything else. And it's and it's not just Facebook. It's WhatsApp and that. Because obviously Facebook Meta owns WhatsApp. And then you got what's going on with X, collecting your data. Elon Musk likes to, Nazify Grok into Mecca, what do we call it? I don't know, Mecca or... It's just... What we have to understand is that data is the new gold, all right? It is the new gold. When something is free, you become the product. It's simple as that. You become the product. What have I missed? Have I missed something? I think I have. Oh no, that's right, that's fine. Oh, I have a part of that, that's good. Hi, chat. Oh my god, I'm trying to do this with my flipping computer monitor. It's not touchscreen, Marcus! So, I still use Google Apps, including Gmail. I do. For me, it's just useful. Though I've cancelled a bunch of other stuff. Getting rid of Google will be the last. I already run my own Bitwarden server. Good idea. Plex server and a bunch of others. Really good idea. I mean, I need to do that, to be honest. There's no real reason why I need to use Gmail. I could just use... If all it is that I've already got it set up on loads of things I have. I'm too lazy to set it, to migrate to something else. And I've got my own servers, so why the hell I just use those? The problem is, for me, I worry that they're going to get infected with something. And I'd rather let a multi-billionaire company deal with it. We need to decentralise the internet, yes. There's lots of problems in the world, and a lot of them revolve around the internet, involve social media and what have you. A lot of these problems do. And the way people's minds have become infected with nonsense. It's the internet again. But internet is a useful tool, it just facilitates it. It's the billionaires. They have an agenda to make money, and they know full well they need to get as many people on their platform as possible, even those who are a little bit, how to put it, of the land, who like a bit of Trumpery. Yes, it's a natural word. Sesnam is popular here. It is a Czech made and owned and only in Czech, yeah, and most secure since not many outside Czech Republic can read Czech. That's a good point, actually. That's a really good point. I used to have a machine that was made in the Czech Republic. Brilliant engineers, they really are. It was a radio-controlled Slugmer. It was distributed in the UK by Ransoms in Ipswich. MT01, I think it was. And it was a brilliant bit of kit. It really was. It had a meter cut on it, a cramp steer, literal hydraulic drive, big industrial remote control. It cost 18 grand, this machine did. 18 grand. All these years ago. This was back in 2007, I think I bought that. Can't remember that. Contracts that we had, you see. Do. How are things in Germany? From what I can see, is that Merz, the Chancellor, who obviously is not as left-wing as the last Chancellor, she's quite frankly Engine needs coffee. Have one of me. Favourite friend. I've got a bear. Don't really want coffee just at the moment because I will need to get some sleep. That might keep me awake. Thank you very much. 88B23. It's like BB8, B8, BB. It's like a BB8, but the wrong way around. Would you like to sleep? Oh. Don't you hate it when people insult your intelligence like Trump? And the puppets do. Is that real, man? Is that real? Yes, I do. But I do get it all the while. You get these people, don't you? And I've had plenty in the stream, and luckily we've got some good people who have been getting rid of them. But yes. Yes, it's quite frustrating because you'd hope that they would come round to the light. Follow the light, carry on, yes. You would hope, but no. I think this Epstein thing will bring some people over. It's already started. Because it's one of the things that they thought Trump was going to expose. They thought Trump was going to publish the list. But no. Trump was on the list. Even though there's pictures of him with Jeffrey Epstein at parties and video clips. Earlier today, I showed you a clip of a woman who was groomed. And potentially, a woman that was a young girl actually. She's only got 13 for Trump. These people are the worst. They really are. Hello, Sharan Moradi. You know, I ain't got a problem with Iran because the Iranian people are lovely people. I've got a problem with your regime, and your regime are fucking assholes. They certainly are fucking assholes. And how they treat women is very arsehole-like. That is. No, I can't be doing that. Reconnecting. Oh, am I live again? Oh, brilliant. So, it's buffering and it's very choppy. It shouldn't be. No, I'm connected to my live box, but yeah, it's one of the things. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, you know. Sometimes it goes left, sometimes it goes right. It's a bit like that chopper that Donald Trump was talking about. Thanks, Alston, for letting me know that. Cheers, buddy. I think the USA, Russia and China made a deal to split the world in three. All to be fascist. They are loving what's going on in the United States at the moment. Absolutely love it. Because they can tell their people, this is what happens, you see. You've got the so-called democracy and all, that's what happens. Oh, thank you, my friend. Oh, you do fine work, my friend. You do fine work. I try. I try. It's a learning curve for me. I'm learning all the time. There's information I don't know, and there's stuff I don't know. Like, for instance, how the Constitution, stuff like that. I'm still trying to work my way through it in the United States, and obviously what's going on, in Canada as well. I find it fascinating. It interests me, but the thing is, you see, it's very insular to just take care of your own little bubble and be interested. You used to go off to UK politics and what's going on with the EU and Brexit. But I don't know how it happened, but I just kind of started following what's going on. I like the fact that Canada was standing up to Trump, so that kind of pushed me in that direction. And it got me interested. So then I started reading up about it and trying to find a little bit about history and stuff like that. Stuff I hadn't really paid attention to in the past, And it's good to learn new stuff, isn't it? It's good to learn new stuff. We all need to learn new stuff, especially about other cultures, to be more accepting of other cultures. And, sometimes there's reasons about things that we don't necessarily understand or agree with. Sometimes there's reasons behind it. Yeah, I wish Marcus had a segment on the BBC News at 10. They'll love him to present a question time. Oh my God, they wouldn't have me. Oh my giddy arm. I'm too crude for the BBC. Can you imagine it? Oh, I couldn't resist going on about a chocolate starfish. Oh, I'll be done old fat old Nigel Farage. You stop spouting all that bloody crap. You've just been sucking on old Donny's chocolate starfish, haven't you? No, they wouldn't have me. I don't think they'd have me. I'll be a laugh. They always have the same people on there. They always got the same. Always bloody Nigel Farage. Very rarely do they have people on the left that are really articulate. But yeah, they would have me. No one's going to have me. Someone mentioned to me actually about, you should contact their Midas Touch networks. They wouldn't have me. I'm too crude. I don't fit into their kind of, their little stereotypical platform. I say little, it's big though, isn't it? So I watch them. So yeah, I suppose it's a bit hypocritical for me to criticise them because I watch them. Because they do have good information. Ben is actually provides good information. He goes around but they can I do it as well. Go around the old gooseberry bush a bit. It's just round circles sometimes. But they can I do that. And then you got the stupid adverts. Oh my God. I would never do that. I would never ever have adverts like that about arse washers and I don't know, muscle supplements and oh God, it's painful to watch. I know I mentioned this before. It's like when you get these actors and they start doing like Timotei hair shampoo ads or something stupid, I thought, oh God, you just sold your soul. I respected you until now. It's all about money, isn't it? All about money. They'll sell their soul for money. And it's just, no, not for me. Charlie Angus, good guy. I love watching him. He's quite forthright as well, Charlie Angus. Another Canadian, he's, yeah. He's standing up for Canadian democracy, isn't he? And certainly standing up against Donald Trump. Oh, I didn't say that. Matt Albright, he destroyed Richard Tubbs, but that's not difficult, is it? Richard Tubbs is a fucking idiot. He was going to, I can't remember what this so-called maritime law is, but he was going on about using this particular something 24 or something that's called certain maritime law to deport immigrants that come in on the boats, you see, from the United Kingdom. If you hadn't heard, in the United States, apparently they've got a bit of a problem with people coming in on little rubber boats and stuff. And this particular so-called law would allow Britain to literally just dump people on the French coast, which it doesn't. It's just a lie. Maritime law basically means you need to... I'm a boatman, all right? If somebody's in distress, and I know, I have a legal responsibility to attend to that distress. Because a distress call will come up on my VHF radio, and I have a legal responsibility to address it. That's maritime law. Not in its entirety, obviously it's not saying them or something, but These people who are in those little boats are in distress, effectively, because as soon as they're in those boats, they're in distress. Because they're in a boat that's not fit for purpose. And it's overladen. There is a very high chance that boat is going to end up, failing. It's going to either break, or it's going to bend in the middle, or it's going to fill up with water, or whatever, capsize. The engine's going to give up the ghost. They've got these whopping great bloody boats, rubber boats, that clearly aren't like Zodiacs, you know what I mean? They're just a bit all floppy, they're much more than the lilo, sort of rubbery lilo material. And then they've got these outboards on the back that are underpowered for the boat, going across the channel, with tides literally going across you. So effectively, and these people, they don't understand vectors. So what happens is, you think you're going straight, you think you're pointing towards your destination, but what's actually happening is you're actually going like that. You're doing it like that, going like a big arc. So you think you'll be pointing that way, and then you'll be doing that, then you'll be pointing that way, do that, and you'll be pointing that way because you think you're facing the right direction. And instead of doing like 22 miles across the channel, it ends up being 50 miles across the channel. Too much water inboard. Oh, I'll send you down to Davy Jones's locker. Kiri had a good point. Don't want to date someone without morals. Do you know what? That's a really good policy. I'm lucky, right? My dear wife, she's a kind woman. She'll do anything for anybody, but before she does stuff for herself, she's too kind. My view is that if you're not going to look after yourself, how are you going to look after other people? Because you won't be in a fit state to do so. But she sees other people's needs before her own. And that's who she is, as a person. She's a kind person. A decent person. So I'm lucky, alright? Some people aren't. These people get in relationships with people and you soon realise that, really? What have I done? Getting in tow with this person? Not for me. No. Oh, what have I missed? Engine needs coffee. Oh, look, that already. The channel is the most busy route. Yes, I've been across that. I've sailed that channel. I've also sailed to Holland and as well several times to Hook Holland. And if it isn't oil rigs and whatever you see, all deserted shit, it's ships, ferry crossings, container ships, you name it, going across it. It's all sorts of shit, ships, and it's quite frightening because there you are in your little 30-foot boat, and you've got this massive bloody thing creating a huge wake behind them, and you've got like bobbing around like a fucking idiot. The smallest one I was in was an old Colvick Watson, 22 foot, and that was a little sailing boat. That I'd say it was disconcerting, but it doesn't capsize. It's literally it's like a little Weeble Womble. It's got a round stern, round bow, it just bobs about basically. Great little Colvick Watson, great little boat. Really good sea boat. In fact, that same boat, a friend of ours actually went right around the whole coastline, skipping a little bit in the Caledonian Canal. Of the United Kingdom, so they skipped some of obviously Scotland because the coastline is excessive in Scotland. So yeah, it's a hell of an experience, but you learn it a lot. You learn a lot about life really. You realise that you're vulnerable. You realise how vulnerable you are when you're in the boat, in the channel. Or any of the coastline, because some of it's pretty darn rough. I understand wanting a life free of free of worry. Beyond that, a fantasy of hoarding wealth is gross. Gross. If you could hoard enough wealth, so you didn't have to work, and you could then, if you were one of these people that hoarded wealth, but you gave yourself to others, well, I don't see a problem with that. That's fine because you're offering something. But these people, these multi-billionaires, these Jeff Bezoses with their ridiculous weddings, and some of these celebrities that they just no. These people are scum, and we pay them effectively because we buy their shit. We watch their movies. We are the problem. We need to stand up against it. We need to do what we need to do to push back. You see, if you hurt them in their pockets, they'll have to be forced to do something about it. And in that situation, the people will have too much power. They'll have to try and fluff the people instead of other billionaires like Donald Trump keeps doing. It kind of happened in the 30s with the New Deal and stuff like that, when they started building houses and shit like that. You know, basically, the rich realised, hang on, if we don't look after these people, they're going to come for us. How do you think we had the Bastille, you know, the French Revolution? It's because the people were being suppressed. So they stood up against them. Against the hierarchy, against the rich feckers with the wigs on. And decided to chop the fucking heads off. And hang them. Make an example of them. Monarchy gone. It's hard to know what would happen of us if we suddenly had billions. I think the mind naturally tends to find ways to justify insane wealth. How would you have so much if you weren't awesome? Well, I'm awesome, but I'm broke. But you know, we just, not billions. If we had, yeah, let's say for instance, yeah, I don't know, if you had like, I don't know, 5 million or something like that, so you didn't have to work again. You could probably earn just about enough off that to live comfortably. If you had, I don't know, 100 million, you had enough to live off that comfortably, but also you got a shitload enough there to help other people who haven't got. Maybe help other people, lift them out of poverty. Maybe help them start businesses up and stuff like that. Help people. A moral responsibility because you've got the means to do so. It's not about being do-gooders and shit like that, is it? It's just, it feels to me that should be the right thing to do. We are as much as we can. Those of us that care, that is. Yes. You would do better with a king and the parliament. You've got a king. His name's Trump. And you noticed? Oh, who's this queen? It's not Melania, is it? Is it JD Vance? God's sake. Americans, why are you not boycotting red state products and corporations? Why are people like me and well, I've come off that platform, like X, for instance. Why are people who say they are against tyranny, against this, against that, and then a bit lefty, why are they still on X? I know why they're on X, because they've managed to gather quite a following on there. But all they're doing is justifying the platform. You're not countering anything because the algorithm was working against you. So what's the point of being on there? The only thing you're doing is making the likes of Elon Musk, well, richer. You're giving them, well, you know, I've said this before a million times, you know, when something is free, you become the product, and that's what you are the product. The more traffic that platform gets, the more money they can charge for their advertising, you know. Get off it. Go on to something else like Blue Sky. Help build Blue Sky up so it's bigger than X. Yep, Donald Trump is worse than a king. To be fair to King Charles, you know, I'm not a monarchist, right? I think the whole idea of a monarchy is just crazy. But I have to admit, seeing Emmanuel Macron and the king together, and then seeing Zelensky and the king, and seeing how happy Zelensky was to go and see the king and give him a bit of a boost now with all this shit going on and constantly being suppressed by Donald Trump, it did give me a little bit of a buzz. I'll be honest about that. You know, the same with Emmanuel Macron. I felt like at this moment in time, even though I'm not a monarchist, I could see the point in the monarchy. For that one moment in time. And Emmanuel Macron as well, making his speeches and stuff in Parliament, that state visit. It had purpose, it had an outcome. A positive outcome. Also helped see the British people see Macron as a statesman, because all they get fed in their bloody news feeds, and then you got all these newspapers, the Daily Mail, the Telegraph, Expresses, all them a lot, attacking Macron constantly, and they're the papers that these people read, and they unjustly attack him, for ridiculous stuff. Don't be wrong, he's not perfect, right? There's no perfect leader out there, is there? Obviously not. He's not perfect. There's things about Macron I don't like. I found once really got my goat when a young lad called out to him, and he called him Emmanuel. Emmanuel Macron. They called him Emmanuel Macron. He says, "I am Mr. President to you." He goes, "Oh, no. No. No, 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 no." That was too much. That was too much. That was rude. That was cruel. He didn't need to do that. But you see, the thing about Emmanuel Macron, even though his, I believe that Bridget's got kids from a previous marriage or something, but he hasn't got any kids of his own. So I don't think he understands. It's not an excuse. So he should understand. He's the president of France. But there's lots of things he does, and he's been doing with Ukraine, what have you, like state visit with the UK. I have to admit, he's a statesman. I live in France. I know what goes on there regarding the local opinion about Emmanuel Macron. Some people think he's great. Some people think he's terrible. But the people who think he's terrible are the same people who would be supporting Donald Trump, including my French neighbour, who she's lovely. Don't get me wrong, she's lovely, but she's a fool. She's a kind person, but she's also a fool. She follows. Well, she's basically on the dark web, basically. It makes very little sense. Cinnamon. Those pretty little ants outnumber us 100 to 1, and if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. Not about food, it's about keeping those ants in line. A bug's life. But I remember that. He stand up there, weren't he? I told everybody, giving his chant, his rant. That was brilliant. That was. I've actually shared that. I've done this on this channel before because it was. That's brilliant. Bug Club. I remember that. That's such a good line, and it's true. That's exactly what's going on at the moment. Those puny little ants. That's referring to the people. Because Donald Trump, he has control of the people with. Well, let me find. Lots of people got guns, but those who've got officially allowed to use them. So it's 19 degrees in the Hertfordshire. Crikey. Now, what time? It's 1:30 in the UK. God. What? It's 24.9 here at the moment. There you go. 24.9. And 59% moisture, which sounds about right. I double dare Americans to get ICC The Hague stickers and put them on ice vehicles. They say, that's the sort of thing we should be doing. That is the kind of thing. Clandestine attacks, and that's low-key stuff, but it makes a point. Even a stencil. And stencil all the military vehicles, like MASH in white. Well, white, stencil, like fascists. Make it difficult for them to get rid of it. Trick them. Put fake bombs on them. On the vehicles in the middle of, whenever unattended. stick some neodymium magnets on, just check all the sides of these vehicles, scare the hell out of them, and then the bomb squad comes along and it's fake. But it delays them. They get all these people in with their bomb squad and their big bomb demolition thing on the trader. Just cause some havoc. There are things you can do that just delays them. All these vehicles going into, I don't know, I've done this before. I shouldn't admit this, but I have. Bits of wood. You know the old, what I can't remember what they're called, where they chuck that thing across the road and they've got all the hollow spikes come up, you know, and it flattens the tyres in seconds. Well, you don't need to flatten them in seconds, all you just need to flatten them within a mile or so. Block them with the nails in it. Just chuck them under the bloody wheels. They're too busy doing what they're doing, you know? They're not protecting their vehicles, they run out the vehicles, they leave them there, sometimes with the door open. Check a stink bomb in it. Stop sticks. Oh, they're called stop sticks. Okay, cheers, buddy. A spike belt. It's just like, yeah, they're like a scissor reaction thing, aren't they? Literally, you can throw them across the road and they've got all the hollow spikes in them, so the tyres just deflate just like that. Amazing, very simple idea, but clever. You're right with the keeper. That was brilliant and very political as well. It was clever. Oh, okay. Have you seen the Lincoln Park video about alligator Alcatraz? I'll have a look. Let's all have a watch. We'll see if I can find it. Because I follow Lincoln Park and I haven't seen that in my feed. But there again, that's YouTube for you. Lincoln. Of course, way down here. Why in there? I can't find it. Oh, just a search for it. That'll be quicker. Right. Lincoln Project. Bear with me, I will be with you in a sec. I'm here, don't run away, I'm still there. Look at my dodgy chair. Oh my kid, my house is hanging out. My trousers are falling down. Anyway, after that shocking, hairy ass episode, DCBWs, you know. Alright, I feel more comfortable now. Funny that, isn't it? So, Lincoln Project, Lincoln Project, and it'll be Alcatraz, or alligator. Okay, that must be that one.
Alcatraz, an impregnable prison camp, surrounded by miles of the most deadly parts of Florida. Poisonous snakes, fierce and hungry alligators, miles of unmapped swamps, storms, hurricanes, fierce heat. No one's getting out of Alligator Alcatraz. The people in Alligator Alcatraz are subhumans, the worst of the worst. Alligator Alcatraz is going to teach these criminals a lesson. If you're upset by Alligator Alcatraz, just wait, because when the Trump era ends, we're keeping it open for the corrupt crypto scammers like Don Jr. who cashed in on the presidency, keeping it open for folks like Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, and Tom Homan, who ignore the law, ignore court orders, and deploy masked cops in warrantless raids. We're even keeping it open for the state and federal agents who abuse their power. You built this, MAGA, and some of you will enjoy the view from inside the wire.
That was brilliant. They're good at that, aren't they? They really are good at it. I have shared them before, actually, on this channel, but they seem to be okay about it. But There you go.
Your task will...
Oh, another one. Let's do this one as well. Look, this is the Epstein files, which seems I haven't seen this either. Oh my giddy aunt. Okay. Okay, you're all sitting tight. You got your popcorn. You got your popcorn. Oh crikey, come back. Adopt that one. That one.
Will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well trained, well equipped, and battle hardened.
There is not a liberal America, any conservative America. There is the United States of America.
And good luck. Hey folks, it's Rick. Welcome back to the Lincoln Project's The Elephant in the Room, where every Friday we try to peel...
Oh, no, it's not what I thought. I thought it was going to be another one of their short ones. But no. It's him himself from the Lincoln Project. It's good though, it's definitely worth a follow. What's the time? Oh my giddy, I do it's like 20 to 3 in the morning for me. Blimey. It's a good job I had to sleep earlier, isn't it? Eh? Blimey. Fell asleep on the sofa. That's what happens when you get old and wrinkly. The bits don't work anymore. Not them bits. Although I wouldn't know. Good way to end it with a picture of Trump and Epstein. Oh, the cats and anything. That is a good ad. But when we see this stuff, we kind of think, oh yeah, you know, it's almost laughable. But it's hurting people, hurting ordinary people. They just want to. Yeah, I love the Lincoln Project as well. Stop the Greasies. They are very good. They really are. They don't mind you sharing this stuff either. This is not one of your 8-hour streams. I'm going to do another one of them, I think, one day. I'm going to have to do one of them one day. The only thing is, how do I keep... I'll have to do it on the computer, though, because keep the... Obviously, this is going to run out of power anytime soon. I'm just getting close here. When they freed prisoners in AllShorts, some prisoners threw a Nazi guard live into the crematorium and then brought him back out to ensure he didn't die. And then in and out for hours. That's what you want. Torture them. Torture them ice people. Yeah. All you want is some giant rat papers. That's what you want. Or duct tape. A giant rid of duct tape and peel them bit by bit. They'll be harmless, but also be hairless as well. That's what I thought. Type Canada. Okay, I'll go back to type Canada. What does something magic happen? Canada. I've done it. Canada. Nothing's happened. I bet I've got to do a capital. As in, I should do a capital. No, nothing's happened. I ain't got a flag. No, I did it. Nothing happened. I wrote Canada though. Try typing maple leaf. Okay, I'm going to try. Wait. Are you trolling me? A maple leaf. Okay, maple leaf. Okay, maple leaf. No, it just says that maple leaf. I got no emojis. I'm sorry. Truly not the. In the emoji box. Well, you didn't say that about the emoji box. Oh. That's now rub your belly and pat your head at the same time. Alright, that's it. Now go the other way. Apparently, yeah, I just asked that. It was a bit like that. Oh dear. If we didn't laugh, you'd cry. With everything that's going on at the moment, if you didn't laugh, you would cry. A lot of this is so shocking. With everything that's going on at the moment. Like this. It seems a weird way of doing it, using a mobile phone and literally pointing it at my screen instead of using the computer. But definitely more people visit the stream like this for some reason. It's bizarre.
Enabling legislation in Germany that gave Hitler his dictatorial power. This bill constitutes a secret police in the United States. It makes it a criminal, federal, punishable by 5 years in jail offense to reveal the identity of said secret police who work for us. And while Donald Trump stands in Iowa talking about freedom and making America great again, wearing the red hat of American extremism, of American fascism, the MAGA hat, let it be known, alligator, Alcatraz as they sickeningly call it, not a prison. No one has been sentenced. No one has appeared before a judge.
Nope. Nope. It's a regime. It's fascism. And people voted for this against their own best interests. It doesn't make a lot of sense, no. But you have to ask yourself, why do mothers like Trump? I don't know, maybe this guy can help me. Maybe. We can ask him.
The number one thing I heard a lot of Trump voters say, number one thing, I love him because he says what's on his mind. He says what's on his mind. He just says what's on his mind. You go, what are your thoughts on his policies? I don't know about his policies. He just says what's on his mind. I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. Until I went to visit my mother, my own mother, Iranian lady. She had fallen for the line. She goes, Maz, I like this guy. Because he say what is on his mind. I go, Mom, are you crazy? He's anti-immigrant. If he becomes president, your relatives can't come to visit you. She goes, I don't like them anyway. She goes, Maz, he say what is on his mind, so I don't have to say what is on my mind. Bitches, stop visiting me, you cheap bastards. What am I, the Airbnb? The number one thing I heard a lot of Trump voters say, the number one thing...
Did I just see a really stupid comment? Does anyone on the left understand or know what fascism is? How about a dictatorial leader, maybe? Maybe that, you know, and maybe an autocracy, maybe militarization, maybe forcible suppression. You know, it sounds a bit like fascism to me. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, well then fucking hell, it's a bloody duck. In this case, it's the fascist. Did that help? It's not difficult. Oh, people, eh? People! You get them? Try and trip us up on the left. And I'm not that left. I'd say I'm more left to centre, to be honest. I'm not a hard lefty person. No. People on the right should also want no harm to people. You know? Even on the far right, they're not going to want their kids being put in a mincer. No! Yeah, the red hats are tacky. Very tacky. So is the adverts on Midas Touch Networks. Yeah. Oh, giddy arse washes and stuff. It's a shameful. No, don't be ashamed of being American. That's unfair. Don't do it to yourself because it's not you. And seriously, you get that a lot. I've heard that earlier today. I'm ashamed of in one of the comments on one video. I do actually read the comment videos. But no, because you've made it quite clear that that's not who you are by making that statement. It's not you. So don't allow that to get you down and be ashamed. Be shocked. Be disappointed in people. And fight against it. But you don't need to be. You do not need to be ashamed. I don't think so anyway. You know, even here in France, you've got people on the right that I wouldn't politically agree with. Doesn't make me ashamed for living in. I'm not a French citizen, but living in France. No, as a British citizen, there's people like Nigel Farage. Doesn't make me ashamed that we've got our own fascists now in government. No, well, not in government. Well, they're okay. They've got about 3 seats or something stupid. No, was it 5? 1 left. I can't remember. Anyway, I haven't been following it recently, but no, you shouldn't need to. Definitely not. What a lot of them on the right, as in the MAGA, who are now very disappointed in Donald Trump and everything that's going on. Because they go on about the deep state, don't they? They're deep state and stuff like that, deep state. They're trying to control us, deep state. They begin to realise that Donald Trump is the deep state. That he is involved, and maybe he's eating the cats and eating the dogs and eating the babies and drinking the blood of the babies. After all, those who criticise or attack others are generally the ones who are actually doing it themselves. That's what it seems to me. Like, I don't know, like the church, for instance, with molesting young boys. It is. Yeah, send it to Alcatraz. Thanks, Alistair, for doing that. Cheers, buddy. Stand up and make America what you can be proud of. You've got a beautiful country. You have got a heritage based on liberty, from the Crown and what have you. Stand up for what it really means, and the Constitution and what that stands for. The Constitution was written there to protect the people from tyranny. And Donald Trump and his regime is doing everything they can to undermine it. Don't let them. And definitely do not allow them to make you feel ashamed of the place that you have grown up in. Don't be ashamed of some of the people. Be embarrassed by the people, but don't be embarrassed by being an American. I don't think that's fair. It's like, for instance, when I hear people say, for instance, 9/11 and what have you, they're only Americans. Somebody said that to me. I was actually fitting a shower at the time when that all was going on. I was fitting a shower in just off Unfink Road in Norwich. That's quite a big shower. It was a massive bloody shower, that was. Anyway, I was fitting a shower as part of this renovation, and I was listening to it. Crikey, what the heck's going on? So then I started talking to somebody who didn't really know it well, and he said, well, they're only Americans. And I thought, what? They're not. This is the Twin Towers. It's full of all nationalities. And why should that matter? If they're Americans, that's an awful thing to say. It's just... Some people can be just the worst, can't they? They really can. Why kick out illegals? Well, because they're not illegal. The US and the UK will fall out again. Well, they will, because you can't trust Donald Trump. You just can't. He's already had a bit of a grumble because of this so-called deal, and because of Tartar steel. He's already had a grumble. So he'll have another grumble later. This is a game. It is a game. Tommy is a MAGA Fruit Loop. Fruit Loop, I love that. Oh. Projectionists. What's that? I haven't heard that term before. Excuse my naivety, but not naivety, ignorance. What's that mean? No, somebody operates a movie. Somebody operates a. I'm going to go slash again. Somebody operates a projector. A projectionist. Why kick out illegals? Because they're not illegal. They're not illegal anyway, so why kick them out? Just doing something illegal until you've been convicted doesn't make you an illegal. How many times do you break the speed limit? Are you now a criminal? No, because you haven't been convicted. Thank you all so very much. Your encouragement helps morale a great deal. But the thing is, you see, we all need to stand on what we believe in. You know, if you believe in crazy shit, well then obviously you're on your own, but with the other crazies. But if you believe in looking after thy neighbour and all that, which is, let's be honest, there's a lot of this stuff is stuff that's in the Bible and stuff, you know. And the Ten Commandments, you know, look after people and stuff. You don't have to be religious to, you know. In fact, we got a thing from the in the post today from the from some religious group, Jehovah's Witnesses. That's it. Yeah, that was Jehovah's. Oh God's sake, really? Leave me alone. I just, I'm not going to do any harm to anybody else. You know, and if I can help anybody, I will. If we all did that, you know, don't hurt people. You see somebody struggling, help them out. If we all did that, wouldn't the world be a better place? I think so. It's so easy to hate on people from behind a keyboard, for instance. Or making dodgy videos about me. And just try to hate on me just because, you know, they don't agree with my point of view. It's just stupid, you know. Pathetic. MAGA hates Detroit with a passion because it's on the comeback. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting, thank you. Detroit, a micro sound, so MAGA hates Detroit. Thanks again, Alston. It's quite nice having the spanners in the works here because they clean up the stream, don't they? You know, and so all hail Alston. Hail the Alston. Cheers, buddy. How the world has changed. You know, you got a really good point there because a lot of this stuff with Brexit and although Donald Trump's first term was all at the same time, wasn't it? Really. They were given the platform, weren't they? The haters out there were given the platform. They were allowed to speak, come out from underneath the woodwork, and nothing to Brexit with Nigel Farage and Fish, and the Kippers and the Boris Johnson with the Kippers and the ice pillows, and all lies, and it's just ridiculous shit. They were allowed to. Spoke the stuff that they believed, you know, before they just kept stum. It's very easy to sell a dream, isn't it? You know, when they say sovereignty and all that, it's very easy to sell a dream. Unfortunately, it's harder to sell anything that's harder to come by. where you actually got to make some effort, like doing something for somebody else, which takes effort. It's very hard to sell that, you see, because somebody's going to have to put something in. I relish every opportunity to be kinder to a stranger. That's a lovely phrase. I like that. That's very good. I relish every opportunity, says Stop the Greed, every opportunity to be kinder to a stranger. So I have mentioned this before, the live stream. Something that it kind of you always got to look at things differently, right? You need to have a bit of a lateral vision, a bit of nuance, and just analyse the situation. You see, I have mentioned a story before a long time ago, but I was in the Moj, walking down the street, and there was a homeless person with, he had these headphones, these Sony headphones, okay? And they look quite expensive headphones. You can argue yourself. I can just imagine, it's homeless, it's got these expensive headphones on. They had their wires in them. They weren't even Bluetooth. They were just old Sony headphones. And he wore his black guy living on the streets, and they kept his ears warm. He was using them as earmuffs. So the point being is that it's quite easy to to attack people and criticise. You're on the streets, and but you got this, you got the iPhone, you got the. It's daft. Could you imagine? And this was the winter as well. Could you imagine what it's like for someone to live on the streets in the freezing fucking cold? Now, for instance, here in France, the weather's quite diverse. Like winters can be freezing, summers can be boiling hot. They're literally air warmers. It's just air warmers. He's just wearing them as air warmers. That's right, Gaston. And it's just yeah. Okay, I gave him a tenner. It's only a tenner, but that's what I had in my pocket. But it's at least I didn't give him buttons or set like a £50 note in front of him like Boris Johnson did. Evil piece of work. But it can't be that difficult, can it? It doesn't have to be much. Just give them a pack of sandwiches or something, or you can just sit down and talk to them. Can you imagine how lonely that is, being someone living on the streets and everyone just walks? They change the side of the road when they see you. Sit there, I don't know. It's just nuts. Kindness doesn't need to cost anything. It doesn't. As Bob says, or Bog. Anyway, and the servants of the most merciful are those who walk upon the earth easily. And when the ignorant address them harshly, they say words of peace. Surah Al. Is that the Quran? I have not read the Quran. I've read bits of the Bible, but I'm not a religious man, so I don't feel you've got to be a religious person to not do harm on others, Oh, man, I know that song. Listen to the song of The House You Live In. Brilliant, that is. That ain't Canada, my home. It can be fun being nice. Exactly. What? Why would you want to be hated? Donald Trump doesn't want to be hated. He wants to be loved. Boris Johnson doesn't want to be hated. He wants to be loved. But he's found a niche. He's found, both of them have found this niche of people that love him. So then he feeds them. It's quite sad. When it's quite obvious what you need to do to be sincerely loved, to be a decent person, Look after your family, look after your kids, mate. Make sure they're okay. Have fun with them, mate. You know, bring them up in a solid fashion. I was quite a strict parent, you know, but I had fun with them. We used to go, you know, to the parks and fly kites and rate-controlled gliders and stuff like that. We used to do all sorts of shit with the kids. And that, you know, they got involved and always took them swimming. We from basically a very early age, they all went swimming. You know, so you learn, you know, they could swim by, you know, by the time they were about 4 or 5, you know, they could swim. You know, it's you don't need to be horrible. It doesn't make any sense to me. You get nothing out of it. All you do is all that happens, you end up being attacked by other people. If you're a decent human being and you're kind to people, even those on the right will respect you. Even though, yeah, okay, maybe some people think you're woke or some stupid saying like that. But as a whole, it's very hard to... So one of the things I found, one of the things I learned being in business, and you're dealing with customers. If a customer is unhappy for whatever reason it might be, just be nice. It's very hard for a customer, or the neighbour of a customer, because you parked in front of their driveway, which I've done in the past. Just be nice. Not apologetic, what have you. You don't have to mean it, you just be nice. Well, actually, you do have to mean it, really. Compassion is abundant and free. And yes, and when you see these poor children being killed in Gaza and Ukraine, for no reason other than, well, total control, getting rid of them. Children, for Christ's sake. And then when you see your government actually handing money over to these people, this is your money that's going to fund the genocide. That just seems absolutely mental. It just doesn't feel right, does it? And like, for instance, and even here in Europe, we've been buying gas from Russia during, okay, with sanctions and what have you, but buying gas from Russia, you know, they're just using that bloody money, aren't they, to fund their war effort against Ukraine, just so they can kill more women and children. Keeper says, as LGBT plus member, I've not run out of shell-shocked kids needing a stable adult to talk to. So many are thrown out or forced to run away for their safety from their parents. What a crying shame. You shouldn't have to do that. A parent is a child's sanctuary. You know? You're there to guide your children to do the right thing, not to scare the living hell out of them and abuse them. That's 6 kids, you know. It's not easy. It's not easy. Caroline had 4 from a previous marriage, and she had a really rough marriage. You know, she was beaten to hell, she was. Nasty piece of work. He's a Schedule 1 offender, which basically meant he's a paedophile. But he got off. It's just, you know, a long time ago, but, you know. And she managed to build the courage up to kick him out. And then we met and what have you, know. We all knew each other. But then we met again. And ended up getting married, you know. Been together ever since. She's a kind person. I won't do any harm to anybody, you know. I've always been a hard worker. So you think, you know, I brought the kids up as though they are my own. It's kind of, yeah, what you're meant to do, you know. It's just, I have to admit, I was only 18 at the time and jumped into a family with 4 children. You adapt quite quickly. You really do. Soon you'll get gas from Canada. Well, the LNG exports are doing extremely well, as you know, to Asia, what have you. I'm sure they'll be going to Europe as well, buying a hell of a lot for the United States. So I imagine we might get some from Canada as well. We can't trust the US, can we? Cannon says, inaction is complicit. Yes, yes. It's like what's going on in the US with all these ICE and stuff. Standing by and allowing it to happen. I know it's frightening, but you need a plan, you need a way. You need to make it difficult for them. You make it difficult. Make it impossible for them to operate. Valid point, Andrew. Andrew said here, as a Welshman, he says, imagine being one of my forefathers caned for speaking our native tongue, Welsh. Yeah. That's... Yeah. We have got English, that is. Or Barry's better go out. English has... So, us English, we have got a lot to answer for, haven't we? We really have. Yeah, for our past. The USSA, yeah. Soviet. 4D chess, well, that's what they seem to try and make out, and that's what they believe, isn't it? My family's from, oh, I see, stop the greatest, the family's from Northern Ireland. Crikey, went through hell, didn't they? Northern Ireland. Only a few families in control of the world, yes? Got all the bloody money. They have all the money, Snowdy. They got all the money. They are bleeding your countries dry. It's happening in the UK, it's happening here in Europe, it's happening in the US. The money is going up, then out. Into some foreign bank account, or into some asset-holding company somewhere, or it's just... It's being dissipated. It's not being used. It's no good sitting on it. It needs to go, it needs to enter the system. Otherwise, there is no trickle, so-called trickle down. Trump in action is complicit with Ukraine genocide. Yes, I agree. Can't do my own. That's definitely. He has said that he's going to flood them with more munitions and stuff like that. But that's Trump speaking. You can't trust anything. Believe anything he says. He said he wasn't going to raid the farms because the farms, we need the farms and what have you, and they feed the people, they make us fat, people, and they make us fat, he said, didn't he? And then that, like a video clip I showed you a moment ago where they're raiding the farms. They'll do whatever they can to meet their quotas. Well, I am going to have to... I love you, Neve. My device is about to literally fall over because the battery's about to run out. And I can't plug a power supply in because it interferes with the sound. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I'm going to head back to bed. And it's 3:15 in the morning here in France. I have already had a bit of sleep, to be fair. And then, yeah... Make sure my dogs are okay, and then go to bed, I suppose. We went to... Before I go, we went to a local dog refuge today. And it seems like most of the dogs are category 1, category 2. And there was a couple of dogs there who were gorgeous and really lovely, sweet things. They you can't walk them without a muzzle here in France. You have to have a licence and all that sort of stuff for that type of dog. Because effectively a dangerous dog. And also I've got grandchildren, so it wasn't even on the card. So... there was a couple of others there that were quite sweet, but they weren't ready for me. And it's a big decision. So I think the SPA at the moment is out. They've got a list, and they're going to let us know if they've got something come in. But I need another Wally dog. That's what I need. I need, yeah, there he is. I need a little boy like this one. That's what I need. And I need something like, not the same obviously, because it's silly, but like my little Wally. I need a little Wally dog. He was my buddy. He made me a better person. He really did. And yeah, it made my heart melt. He does. Every time I look at that, I just get emotional. Lovely little boy. But unfortunately, he died. Yeah, sweet Wally boy. Yeah, he unfortunately passed away last year. So we're in the market for another dog. We don't want to get one from somebody, a breeder. And there's a lot of people breeding dogs here in France who aren't actually registered to do so. So you've got to be so careful. And I just feel a lot happy to get one from a refuge. But they didn't have anything that was, yeah, not yet anyway. They will do probably at some point. We've done a lot of rehoming for dogs. We used to foster dogs for the SPA, which is that particular refuge, in the past, and also for Phoenix Association, which is another dog refuge. And it's quite, I don't know, I just want to get another dog at home. We were going to wait. I miss them so much, if you know what I mean. Dogs are grand in Canada. Oh, what? Dogs for $1,000. It's a lot of money. Yeah, in France as well, some of them are, but obviously it won't be paid. I'm not going to pay money like that for a dog. You've got to do all the other stuff already, so it's already going to cost a couple £100 or something, for 200 or 300. You obviously you've got to do all the vaccinations and stuff like that. But I'm not going to get a dog from a breeder unless I can bribe them. Let me have it free, or I'll grass you up. No, I'm not going to do that. Trump is Superman, apparently, and he is able to cook rice with his left thumb. He can climb trees with his left nut. He's amazing, and I gargle him daily. Very good. Thank you. Whoa, 4,000! Oh, God, we'll be doing that. No, it's got. No, we'll get a little. Yeah, we can wait. We're not in a hurry. We're not in a hurry. We've got two little lovely fellas. So, girl and a boy. So we have to think about them as well. Oh my giddy aunt, the other one, stop the grid. If anyone knows, I was on that island for 9 weeks or whatever it was, with Graham Hughes, helping them out, in the Caribbean. Oh, I missed my dogs like crazy, I did. Anyway, when I got back, it was nuts. They were mental, they did. Oh God, I was a bit slobbered, to say the least. Yeah, it was good to be home. Yeah, so we always get crosses. We always want a cross. I'd like something like little terrier cross. That's what I'd like my Wally. You know, he's a little terrier cross. He had a bit of Staffy in him, I think, as well. Actually, you can tell by his ears. I need more mammals. Says Widowkeeper. Mammals are great now. Crikey, there's no cheap dogs. Blimey. Yeah, dogs from the pound. That that's basically that's where we went today. It was the local pound. Yes, be kind to yourselves, and then you can be kind to others. Yes, definitely. Cats, Amanda and Friends says, don't buy from breeders, go to the rescues. That's what we do. We used to do a lot of fostering, you see, for Spa, and also for Phoenix Association here in France. In fact, Sebastian and Pandora are both from Phoenix. We fostered both from there. Sebastian had a hard start in life. He was beaten. He's very, very nervous, but now he's just a soppy mess. He is a soppy mess. I do love him. I love them both. I love the dogs. But I think they are what you put into them. You know, if you spoil them bloody rotten, we spoil our dogs. Not with things and stuff like that, with emotion, they get lots of cuddles, and we don't ignore them. You know. I bet you did, Marcus, happy to see. Yeah, he was. I bet you did. I bet you answer. Yeah. There we come. My phone is literally about to click off. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and thanks for hanging on here at this time. It is so late. It's 3:20 in the morning for me. Obviously, hello 402 Sting and Fat Florida. I'm about to click off, my friend, but check us out on another live stream. I tend to go live a couple of times a day, and we just talk about whatever's going on in the world. Quite a lot about, obviously, some quite shocking stuff that's going on in the United States at the moment. Very just disappointing to see people supporting it. But it's no strangers folk, are they? No strangers folk. And thanks for the super chats today. Much appreciate it, I really do. And it's helps me carry on with the old channel. It keeps it going, it does. So that's quite nice. So anyway, have a lovely day and have a lovely weekend. Don't party too hard. Yeah, you're doing all that. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Blimey, crikey. Oh, come on. Whatever tickles your fancy. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't leave it alone. Anyway, thanks again. Love you all.